What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude 8. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. This channel is home of at least one college football video every single day. And it's time for my spread pick video of the week. I'm starting to dread these things because now I'm 64 and 56, still 53%. That's above 500, but I haven't gotten that breakout week, especially since week 5. That's what set me back. Before week 5, I was at 66%. Then on that day, I think I went like 7 and 12 or 6 and 13, something like that. And that's what knocked me down. Since then, 10 and 10, 10 and 10. 10 and 10, right at 500. I've got to break through. I'm hoping that breakthrough is this week. Here we go. First game, number 2, Cincinnati, 7-0 at Tulane. Tulane is 1-6. Cincinnati's a 27-point favorite. Cincinnati's a really good team. Tulane is kind of cold right now. They looked great at the beginning of the season. I just think 27 points is too much for Cincinnati on the road for a halfway decent Tulane. So I'm taking Cincinnati, but I'm also taking the 27 points. Next up, big time matchup, number 6, Michigan at number 8, Michigan State. Both of these teams are 7-0. Michigan, the 4-point favorite. I've already done my prediction video on this. You already know who I'm going to take, and that's Michigan State in the straight-up upset. Give me the Spartans. Number 9, Iowa goes on the road. They're 6-1. Wisconsin will be hosting. They're 4-3, and Wisconsin's actually the 3-point favorite. I was hoping that Iowa was going to be the favorite. I was going to take Wisconsin. Well, Wisconsin's the favorite, so I'm going to lay the 3. I think Iowa's just hitting that rut that they seem to hit every single year. They might finish strong. Right now, they're in a rut. Texas goes on the road with the 4-3 record to take on number 16 Baylor, who's 6-1. Baylor, a 2.5-point favorite. I think Texas goes on the road and beats Baylor. I think this is a letdown game for Baylor. I don't fully trust them yet. I'm not saying they're a bad team. They're a good team. I just don't trust them yet. I'm taking Texas in the upset. Miami, the Hurricanes, with the 3-4 record, coming off a great win over number 22 NC State. They go on the road to number 17 Pitt. Pitt's 6-1. Pitt is favored by 9. I actually think Miami's going to make this a close game. I'm going to take Pitt, but I'm also going to take the 9 points. Number 22, Iowa State, 5-2 at West Virginia, who's 3-4. Iowa State, 7.5-point favorite. I'm going to take the Cyclones, but I think they win by a touchdown, so I'll also take the 7.5. Last week, I took TCU and laid the points. West Virginia won. Hopefully, I'm wrong again. Number 1, Georgia takes their undefeated record, 7-0, and goes to Jacksonville to take on the Florida Gators, who's 4-3. Georgia only a 14-point favorite. I think this is the lowest spread Georgia's been involved in since the first game against Clemson. I'm definitely going to lay the 14. I don't think Florida's a good team at all. Yeah, they gave Alabama a close game this year. They did it last year, ended up with 4 losses. I think that happens again. I'm taking Georgia, laying the 14. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, go on the road with a 5-3 record and take on number 4 Oklahoma, who's 8-0. Oklahoma, the 19-point favorite. I think Texas Tech's record is inflated. They might not make a bowl. I think they could lose out, and I think they lose this one big. I'm laying the 19. Colorado with a 2-5 record. Horrible. They go on the road to number 7 Oregon, who's 6-1. Oregon, a 24.5-point favorite. The problem I have with this spread is Oregon hasn't beaten any FBS opponents by this spread. So I'm going to take Oregon, but I'm also going to take the 24.5. They didn't even beat Arizona at 24. Duke with a 3-4 record. They're going on the road to number 13 Wake Forest, undefeated, 16.5-point favorite. I just have this feeling. I'm not saying Duke's a good team and Wake Forest is going to lose. I got the Demon Deacons, but I'm taking the 16.5. I think they win by 2 touchdowns. Number 10, Ole Miss, 6-1. On the road to number 18, Auburn, who's 5-2. Auburn's a 3-point favorite. I'm taking Auburn, and I'm laying the 3. I still think Auburn has a chance to go to the SEC Championship. If they win out, they're going. Staying in the SEC. Number 12, Kentucky, they're 6-1. Going on the road against Mississippi State, who's 4-3, and they're actually a 1-point underdog. I agree with that. I'm taking Mississippi State laying the 1. They could win by a field goal or a touchdown. Doesn't matter. Covers the spread. I think Kentucky slips up here. I'm taking Mississippi State with the home win. They did it to NC State. I think they're doing it to Kentucky. Kansas going on the road after giving Oklahoma a scare, but they're only 1-6. Now they're going on the road to number 15, Oklahoma State, who's 6-1. Oklahoma State, a 30.5-point favorite. Oklahoma State not known for scoring a ton of points. I think they'll win comfortably, maybe by 4 touchdowns. 30.5, to me, too much. I'm taking the points. Number 19, SMU, the Mustangs, undefeated, 7-0. They go on the road to Houston, who's 6-1. 6-1. This spread is even. The problem with Houston's record is that the teams they've beaten has a combined record of 14-28. And in the first game in the season, they got smashed by a bad Texas Tech. I'm taking number 19 SMU to go on the road and beat the Cougars. Number 20 Penn State, 5-2, goes on the road to number 5 Ohio State, who's 6-1. A couple weeks ago, this looked like a big-time matchup. Now Penn State is struggling. Ohio State is a 19.5-point favorite. I don't think that's enough. I'm taking Ohio State, and I'm laying the 19.5. Penn State could be headed for a cliff. North Carolina, who's 4-3, they're going on the road to number 11 Notre Dame. Notre Dame 6-1. Notre Dame is only a 3.5-point favorite. What? I'm definitely going to lay those points. I'm taking the Irish, and I'm laying the 3.5. Virginia, a good team. They're 6-2. They're going on the road to number 25 BYU, who's also 6-2. BYU, the 2.5-point favorite. I'm taking BYU, and I'm laying the 2.5. If this were at Virginia, I'd be taking Virginia. This is strictly home field. Fresno State with the 6-2 record going on the road to number 21 San Diego State, who's undefeated. San Diego State only a 1-point favorite with good reason. I think Fresno State goes on the road and beats the Aztecs. So I'm taking Fresno State in the straight up upset. Oregon State, who's 5-2, they're going on the road to Cal, who's 2-5. This should be an easy pick, right? I should pick Oregon State. Nope. Cal is sneaky good, and they gave Oregon fits. I'm taking the upset. I'm taking the Bears. And finally, TCU at Kansas State. The battle of mediocrity in the Big 12. TCU lost at home to West Virginia last week, and Kansas State won on the road to Texas Tech by 1 point last week. Well, I think TCU has a bounce back week, and they beat Kansas State, so I'm taking TCU straight up. So there you go, my spread picks for week 9. Y'all let me know what you think. Do you think I'm going to have that breakthrough week this week? That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.